30 teaspoons of sugar, 1 drink. We're pouring it all out today so you can actually see what you've been drinking. And once you see it poured out in front of you, teaspoon by teaspoon, you genuinely cannot unsee it. Hey there, I'm Amy Lawson, a registered dietitian and founder of Thrive Nutrition RDN. And I have been doing this exact sugar demo for years. First, I did it with patients when I worked in behavioral health settings, and the reaction is always the same. Jaws drop. Every single time, because there is something about physically watching sugar pile up in a jar, teaspoon by teaspoon, that hits so differently than just reading it on a nutrition label. I even did this demo with my mom. She was having 4 cups of coffee every single morning, but adding to that her beloved creamer loaded with sugar, that International Delight flavored creamers, and she would put over a quarter cup into each cup of coffee. So when I showed her exactly how much sugar added up across her 4 cups of coffee, she was genuinely shocked. But she didn't quit cold turkey. That's not realistic, and that's honestly not even the goal. Instead, we just swapped a little almond milk, kept some of the creamer, and then slowly shifted that ratio over time. Now she uses unsweetened almond milk every day in her coffee, still loves her coffee, and feels, frankly, so much better. No deprivation, just awareness, and then one small shift, and that's the whole point of today's video. Now here's what most people don't realize about sugar in liquid form. When you eat sugar, like in a cookie or a piece of cake, there's usually a little bit of other things in there slowing down just how fast it hits your bloodstream. I'm talking about some fiber, hopefully, some fat, a little protein. All of that slows the absorption of sugar down just a bit. But when you drink it, there's nothing in the way. It rushes straight into your bloodstream, spikes your blood sugar fast, and then you crash. You felt that 2 p.m. slump, the brain fog, the random cravings for something else after you've had your coffee. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day for women, which is about 6 teaspoons, and 36 grams for men, which is about 9 teaspoons. And here's a quick way to calculate how many teaspoons are in the sugar in what you're drinking and eating. So we're looking at the nutrition label. We take that amount of sugar, divide it by 4, and then what you get there is the teaspoons that's in whatever the product is. Now we are about to look at drinks that blow way past these recommendations. In 1 cup, in 1 drink, before lunch for many people. And this actually made some national headlines recently. RFK was calling out Dunkin' Donuts specifically, saying that it isn't good for teenage girls. Now, that is a very interesting group to single out. But honestly, 120 grams of sugar isn't really good for anyone. So that's what today is about. Awareness, not guilt, not never drink this, but be aware of what's in your drink so you can make the best choice for you and for your health. Now, before we start pouring, I want you to guess. Drop your answer right now. How many teaspoons of sugar do you think are in a large Dunkin' frozen coffee with caramel swirl? Drop your guess, and then let's see how close you are. And my 8-year-old has guessed D, so I'm putting his guess in first. Okay, Starbucks is first. Most recognizable, most popular. Let's see what's actually in here. First, we're going for the caramel macchiato, grande. 33 grams of sugar, which is 8¼ teaspoons. This was my go-to order in college and sort of in my early 20s. I liked the flavor, so I just went with it. I just wasn't really aware of what was in it. And now I know. And that's exactly what I want for you, to feel informed, to feel aware. So whatever you choose, you're choosing it consciously. And just to put those 8 teaspoons in context for women, that's your entire daily recommended limit in 1 drink, a lot of times before 9 a.m. And a quick note before we go further, some of the sugar in these drinks is natural, it's lactose. When it's a latte with milk, milk contains lactose, which is a naturally occurring sugar. So not every gram you see in these jars is added sugar, but the majority is, and that's worth paying attention to. Okay, number 2, we have to go with the cult favorite, a pumpkin spice latte. A grande has 50 grams of sugar. That's 12½ teaspoons. Of the 50, about 32 grams are the added sugar. The rest occurs naturally in the milk. And again, it depends what milk you choose, whether you're going whole milk or oat milk or 2%. But the pumpkin spice latte is America's seasonal sweetheart. Our third one from Starbucks, the caramel frappuccino. I had to do a frozen drink. And all of these drinks, I picked grande. I tried to do similar for each of the drinks from all the companies. A caramel frappuccino has 54 grams of sugar, 13.5 teaspoons. And at this level of sugar, we should just be calling it dessert with a straw, which, hey, just own it and know what you're having. I loved a frappuccino back in the day on a hot day. And hey, real quick, I've got a favor to ask of you. Hit that subscribe button, click like on this video, and share it with a friend who loves their daily Starbucks order. All the subscribes, all the likes help me out, help this channel, and help me keep making videos like this for you to help you better your health. And I appreciate you so much. So thank you. All right, Dunkin' Donuts. Now, Dunkin' fans, stay with me. The butter pecan iced coffee, which is one of their most popular drinks, a medium, has 52 grams of sugar, 13 teaspoons. It's classic Dunkin' flavor, classic sugar overload. So much. And then the frozen coffee with a caramel swirl. We had to do a frozen from Dunkin' too. Here it is, 118 grams of sugar, 30 teaspoons in one drink. That is more than 4 times the daily recommended limit for women in that single cup that most people finish in under 20 minutes. And if you guessed C in our quiz, you were right. And I'll just say this plainly, this isn't good for a teenage girl, but it isn't good for anyone. That's exactly why videos like this one are here to help you have awareness. All right, now we're on to Dutch Brothers. Dutch Brothers has an incredibly loyal following, and if you've never been, it's a drive-through coffee chain that's massive in the West and definitely growing fast everywhere else. So let me show you 2 of their most popular drinks. All right, first, the Golden Eagle, a medium, has 9 3/4 teaspoons of sugar. The Golden Eagle is espresso with caramel sauce, vanilla, and a breve, which means instead of regular milk, it's made with half and half. So it's rich, super sweet, and many think very delicious. But 39 grams of sugar. Next up is the Rebel. And I'm using a medium here. The Rebel is Dutch Brothers' energy drink and one they are known for. Think of it like their version of Red Bull. It's their proprietary energy drink base, and you can customize it with basically any flavor or syrup or combination that you want. It is hugely popular, and it has 76 grams of sugar, 19 teaspoons, and you've got caffeine and all of that sugar hitting your system at the same time. A huge spike, and then a pretty significant crash. Okay, now we have to talk about energy drinks because Monster Energy, the OG of energy drinks, is still out there and still hugely popular. So a 16 ounce has 54 grams of sugar, 13.5 teaspoons. And I want to say this clearly, I would never recommend a teenager drink one of these. The combination of high caffeine and this much sugar has a real impact on developing nervous systems, on mood, on sleep quality. Adults, you're an adult, it's your call. Not my favorite either, but just know what you're getting into. And now for a classic, a good old Coca-Cola classic, 20-ounce bottle has 65 grams of sugar, 16 teaspoons. And we all kind of know soda has sugar in it, but actually seeing it poured out still gets me every single time. And when I would do this demo in my behavioral health classes, people were still genuinely surprised. Even though we know soda has sugar in it, seeing it pile up in a cup makes a difference. A 20-ounce Coke has more sugar than most of the coffee drinks that we just looked at. And then here's a fun one for the soda lovers out there. You may have heard about a Mexican Coke, the kind that comes in a pretty glass bottle. The difference is the sweetener. Most American Coca-Cola is made with high fructose corn syrup. Mexican Coca-Cola uses cane sugar instead. Same calorie count, same sugar in grams, and there is definitely debate online about one being healthier than the other. But at the end of the day, I have to tell you, sugar is sugar. Your body processes them pretty much the same way. One is not better for you than the other. We're still talking 65 grams of sugar in one little drink. Now for a little fun, I wanted to do some dessert comparisons because there's so much sugar in these drinks that they're almost dessert-like. So let's go. Oreos, 3 cookies, has about 14 grams of sugar, which sounds small compared to everything else we were talking about. 3 Oreos, the classic American cookie, less sugar than almost everything we just poured. But how many of you eat just 3 Oreos when you're having them? Keep that in mind. And then Chips Ahoy, 3 cookies, about 12 grams of sugar. Similar story, classic cookies, still way under your caramel macchiato. But again, I ask, how many of you have 3 at a time? And now my favorite, Ben & Jerry's half-baked ice cream. 2/3 a cup is a serving, has 37 grams of sugar. Kind of what you'd expect for ice cream, which is 9 teaspoons. And the ice cream has chocolate and vanilla, cookie dough chunks, and brownie chunks all mixed together. And still less sugar than the Frappuccino, which is wild. We would never sit down and eat a bowl of ice cream or a stack of cookies at 8 a.m. and not even think about it. But we grab that same amount of sugar or more in a drive-through cup on our way to work and call it our morning routine. Now, this isn't judgment, that's just something genuinely worth noticing. Since we were talking about teaspoons of sugar, my husband had an idea for me. We were just talking about sugar in liquid form and how easy it is to down and not really realize how much we're drinking. Think about having it in dry form. I'm about to have a teaspoon of plain old white sugar. I'm gonna eat it, and this is gonna be a genuine reaction. So bottoms up. Oh. It reminds me of Fun Dip. Anybody remember that? Where it's literally just powdered sugar. Okay, that was a lot. I kind of got it on myself. I'm gonna mess with my microphone. Okay, that was a lot. It's grainy. It's weirdly intense. And your whole instinct as you're eating it is just, why? Why would anyone do that? Ooh, and it's caught in my teeth. But here's the thing, that's 1 teaspoon. And yet we will happily drink 16, 20, even 30 if you're getting, the large of some of these drinks dissolved into a single cup without thinking twice about it. Because when sugar is mixed into a liquid and then blended with flavor, caffeine, cream, you simply cannot taste it the same way, and it goes down easy. Effortlessly, frankly, and that's what makes liquid sugar so different from eating it straight. Oh yeah, okay. Whew, that sugar made me sneeze. And honestly, my father-in-law, if he eats too much white sugar, he gets into a sneezing fit. Whew, now my eyes are watering the whole thing. So you would never sit down and just eat 30 teaspoons of sugar straight out of the bowl, but you'll drink it through a straw in 10 minutes. Okay, and I wanted to do a quick rapid fire Q&A, answering the questions I get asked most about sugar in drinks. Number 1, what about diet soda or sugar-free drinks? Aren't those better? Less sugar, yes, but artificial sweeteners are their own conversation. I've got a whole video on them. I'm gonna link it down in the description. Some research suggests that artificial sweeteners may still trigger cravings, and they can really impact our gut health, our gut microbiome health over time. So they're not automatically the hero of the story. If we want a true hero, water is the hero. I think they can be helpful to wean us away from sugar in some instances, but again, awareness is key. Plus, artificial sweeteners are many, many, many times sweeter than actual sugar itself. And so it can make us less attuned to natural sugars in fruits, veggies. And what about juice? It's natural, right? This one surprises people. Orange juice, apple juice, even when it's 100% juice, can have as much sugar as certain sodas or some of these drinks, and without the fiber that you get from eating the actual fruit. Your body processes it very similarly. Natural doesn't automatically mean low in sugar. Now, that doesn't mean I'm against orange juice or against apple juice. They have their place and time, but having large amounts of juice daily is not something I'd recommend. Next up, how do I cut back on sugar without feeling deprived? All right, this is one that I get asked and I answer all the time. And here's the short of it: slowly. Exactly like my mom did. You don't have to quit your Starbucks order tomorrow. Just start by knowing what's in it. Then maybe try sizing down or start by doing 1 less pump of syrup and then 2 less pumps of syrup. And we slowly make these changes. Small changes done consistently add up to real results without feeling deprived and without feeling like you're white knuckling through this change. Here's what I want you to take with you from today. Not guilt, not anxiety, awareness. Because when you can actually see something, really see it, you can make a real choice. Not a restriction, not a rule someone handed you, a choice that you're making with the full information. And here's 3 simple things to help you cut back on sugar. Number 1, before you get your next drink, whether you're ordering on an app or standing in line or grabbing something off a shelf, look at the nutrition facts. Most apps show them right there before you check out. Just look at the sugar in grams, divide that by 4, and then you're gonna know the teaspoons. You don't have to change your order yet, just have that awareness. Then step 2, pay attention to how you feel about an hour after a high sugar drink. Are you energized, crashing, anxious, a little irritable? Your body is giving you real data and real feedback. Start listening to it. And number 3, ask yourself, is this drink actually serving me or am I just in the habit of it? That one question has shifted more of my patients' habits than any meal plan I've ever written. And now one treat can be completely fine. It's the daily unaware consumption that adds up over time. And today, I hope I've helped make it visible for you. And 2 things before we go. First, if this has got you thinking about sugar and you want to have some desserts that are nourishing and delicious and mindful in the sugar part, I have simple, practical, delicious recipes on my website. I'm going to link a few of my favorites below. Check them out. And second, you want personalized nutrition support? I work with my clients through Thrive Nutrition RDN. Whether it's breaking sugar habits, helping them with energy, weight, building muscle, or just figuring out what healthy eating looks like for you in your real life, that link is down there too. I would love to work with you. And now that you're thinking all about this sugar, I have a video for you. Hop right on over to How to Break Up with Sugar. Click the video on your screen right now, and I will see you over there. Until then, eat well, be well, thrive.